Another video. In this one, we'll show you how to add power users / editors into Titan dashboard. Brand new dashboard. Let me show you how it's done. So you need to be a power user or at least an administrator for this to work. So the way it works is a bit like this. You need to, once you're logged in, you need to go ahead and click on My Account right here. So when you click on My Account, you are going to then presented with many different options, and the only option you need to focus on is users. So click on that. It's kind of blanked out, but for you, when you click it, it will be visible like this. So here I've got, on the left hand side, I've got all the editors, and this is all we're going to focus on in this video, is how to add editors and remove them. To add editors, it's pretty straightforward. You click Add More, and then you can go ahead and enter their first name, last name, email. And I'm going to come back in a second and explain what the user permissions mean. But before that, you must be aware of your quota. So you could have 6 editors, it just depends on your quota, and you can see it over here. So currently I've got 5, but to be honest, I've got unlimited access, so I can add as many as I want. But for you, it could be 1 of 2, it could be 2 of 2, 3 of 3, 4 of 4. It just depends on what license you've purchased. And if you have reached that limit and you try to add any more, you won't be able to. So if you have a credit card on the file, you can purchase more editors. You can also find out how much each editor costs. The cost of the editor is $100. And we can also do a discount if you buy in bulk, but for that, please contact us. So on Titan DXP, you'll be able to see how much an editor is right over here. So this is nicely marked for you, so no issues at all. Right, let's get back into it. Let's talk about how to add one. So when you click More, Add More, you can enter their name. So I'm just going to go ahead and add, because I've got a secondary account that I've just created specifically for this. So look at the line here. You can add either their email address or their Salesforce username. It's really up to you. So the first permission I want to focus on is the custom. What does the custom permission actually mean? What it means is this. If you go ahead, now you can give them specific access to forms, signs, submissions, web, theme, and report. Let's say I wanted that user to have read, write, delete, and submit access to that form. Just specific that form, done. If I want them to have read, write, delete, and sign and void access, then I can do that over here. In your submissions, if I wanted them to have a read, write, delete, and submission option for that form, I can. Same in the web, it's the same thing. You can give them access just like that. And same goes for theme, and then same it goes for report. So the point of custom is to give them a custom permission. And once you're finished, they are now added. So I'm just going to switch to the other user now. As you can see in this user, I've opened it up in incognito mode, and top right, they have no license because I've just added them. So if I refresh this dashboard, what you'll find is now they are a power editor, an editor, which has just been changed top right over here. Okay? And as you can see, the permission I've given them, according to the permissions, the form is now available to them. And same story here. You can see how all of these have been populated. Now, as an editor, there are a few things they can and can't do. In My Account, they'll be able to access professional services, they'll be able to access their own cases, and in the settings, they'll be able to have a look at what it's been authenticated, what apps are authenticated, but they cannot revoke authentication for any of these apps. An editor will never have that kind of permission. They will be able to see all these details, that's absolutely fine, but they will not be able to revoke the access. That's for a power user, and I'll come back to that in a second. But that simply is what an editor is at the end of the day, that they have the ability to edit and work on different forms or different apps within Titan specific to the settings that you give them. It's really that simple. Okay, so let's move on. That's pretty straightforward. What about for all? What does that mean? Well, for all is a bit like this. Now, rather than you having to give them custom permission, whereas check this, what for all does this, basically. It checks actually everything for every single app here automatically for you. So as you notice, when I click custom, I have next available. When I check for all, there is no next. It's just simply finish. And now, if I go back to my secondary user, which is what we've given this permission to, you can see that a whole heaps of stuff is going to get populated here. Look at all these forms that are now available, all these projects that are now available, and all that kind of stuff. And now they have, you know, the same settings. But remember, still they're not able to, you know, revoke access. That's something they're not able to do, which is like a semi admin permission. They'll be able to see the integration logs, but they will not be able to modify it. Which brings us to the question, what if you have a secondary admin user? What do you need to do? Well, it's very, very simple. You do power user, and when you check power user, they will have all the ability available. Now let me show you quickly what allow create means as well. Allow create means that they're now allowed to create forms, sign, where this is really important if you want your admin user to go ahead and create new projects rather than just work on existing ones. So you must check that. So that's pretty straightforward. And power user is like an administrator, someone who is on like a secondary administrator. So once you click finish, now it's been applied. And if I refresh my dashboard here, what you'll find is now this is a power user. Now, what does a power user can do? It can do a lot of things, to be honest. As I said, it's an administrator, right? So it can go ahead and now revoke access. You see revoke access available. I can authenticate other apps. I can have a look at the logs. I can export forms. I can look at my APIs and reset those settings if I need to. Everything that an admin can use, also a power user will be able to do. It's really, really that simple. So now, you know, my account, users, add more. Here I can add all my editors and the different permissions that are available for custom, for all, create, power user. And this is how you do it. If you have credit card on the file, you'll be able to buy it. If not, you will have to reach out to us, support@formtitan, and we can show you what to do next.